This is the day our Ramcharger that has been revived gets to go home for a little while. Check it out. So here is a quick recap on what all I've done to this truck.
318 four-wheel drive truck, really pretty clean. It has been kind of out in the weather some, and it's getting a 360 upgrade. Also new transmission. It's had a transmission leak for several years that needed to get tended to. Not sure if it works, but I've got a little laundry list of stuff I need to do to it. Got the old headers from my black 77 model truck from a long time ago, but it's a cool old rig.
Up in there. Glad we didn't drive it to Memphis. Oh yeah, there's a leaf hanging out of something there. A couple leaves. That'd be a fun one to discover after we get the engine out. She's getting replaced anyway. This is an 86 Ramcharger. Original 318 two-barrel. So we got this 360 from a buddy of mine, and it ended up being a spray paint rebuild, as Ed calls it. He told me it was basically clean it up, stick it in, ready to go. It needed everything. Since I had this, it's just been fresh honed. It's fully old honing oil. Also, I don't think it was cleaned well enough before it was ever built the first time. So what I'm gonna do is strip all this old paint off, clean down in every lifter bore, every oil galley. I got my plugs out the rear. I don't know if you can see through there or not. Yes. Got the freeze plugs in. Everything wiped down, cleaned out. I pulled the crank, had it polished. New bearings. Rick Seaman was able to hone it out for me, get it back right. Ed at Ed's Machine did the heads on this. I got a kind of a smaller flat tappet cam from Mr. Rodney Bird. So it starts, runs, sounds good, pulls good. That's a new Edelbrock AVS2 carburetor. We redid the transmission. I had it, brought that to my buddy Rat. So he redid the transmission, resealed, and checked the transfer case out. It's all good. Totally rebuilt the front end under the hood. So I took a couple days and pressure washed under here again, hand washed, scrubbed. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better. I pulled out our stuff that we had. New rotors. Obviously, that one can. There's no way they're going to grind that out of there. So, new rotors coming. Something I didn't expect was upper and lower ball joints. Check this out. They're nice and loose like a tooth, which just goes to show you. I got my drive shaft on this side torn apart. New U-joints for our drive shafts. Bearing seals. Brake pads. Getting new calipers. I think this one was stuck anyway, but there we are. Cleaned up and painted a lot of the stuff underneath. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better. New brakes, new bearings, both sides. New tie rod ends. New U-joints in all the axles. And that's front and rear. New joints in the other drive shafts. Let's see what else. New brake lines. I put in the kit here for the manual locker. You can kind of see it there on top. So that allows you to basically pull a cable to engage the front end now, instead of all the old vacuum stuff. So I got rid of that. That kind of covers our front end. I was able to clean up under the hood. I've got videos of that stuff. My friend, Mr. Terry Booth, sent us this rubber to make some new splash mats out of. New battery cables. made those up. I had to go through this wiring here. It was a disaster. All the fusible links were rotted. Most of the power wires were rotted. I had to replace all that stuff. So it all should be fairly sound now. I got us a new FBO box in place, Fire Core Performance Distributor for our engine. These new headers, full exhaust. Let me show you that. I had a video putting that full exhaust. Got glass packs on it. They turn out right there behind the rear wheels. I had to repaint and patch this panel on both sides. Here's a piece of the old rusty, ragged panel that I had cut out. And I wanted to kind of do a color comparison. See a little run right somewhere in there. Where you at? I want to do a little color comparison. Y'all can tell. I don't actually want to touch it to the new paint, but I thought they were pretty slick. Front and rear of the tire had some giant rust holes in it, and then I just repainted this whole bottom section to kind of match better. And our back hatch has been hatching out. I'll go out about 1.5 inches, 2 inches or so, both sides of it, and I'll have to go all the way down. There we go. Bring it on down to there. With smaller pieces, then I went small. I think this one is 5 layers total, so she's not pretty, but it's not supposed to be right now. Most of that's getting sanded off, and I had a little spot over here. It almost ran on me. It's fine. It'll be next week before I can even get back to this, so I like to let my primer dry as long as possible in case it does want to shrink up a little bit, but my repairs look pretty good. I feel good about them. Here it is. So I had to repair these spots in the corners because it was ripping apart, basically. Got a new back glass put in, and I'm sure there's more things. I got a whole playlist on this if y'all want to go check it out. Here's our first test drive. Looking good. Coming around. Cruising right along. New headliner, new seats. We might play with the suspension a little bit if we're towing in too much here. I believe our Ramcharger's been revived. You just help with the mowing there. Eat your heart out, Eric Dudman. Titled the Ramcharger Revival. I got several videos on this if you want to check them out. But I had to make a little improvement to our steering situation, so let me show you. It's been modified before. That's a piece of black pipe from Home Depot. So better than nothing, and not quite factory. This old loose steering knuckle thing here was very, very, very worn out. It probably had a 1/4 inch of slack. We finally gave it a little shakedown, adjusted the toe in some more, and he's gonna drive it and see how he likes it. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll catch you next time. All right, Mopar people.